morning, everyone. Let me put everyone on mute. Awesome. Good to see you. For today's class, an ankle band, a light one, a Pilates ball. Mine is, I like to deflate mine just a little bit, so it gives us a little bit more forgiveness. Maybe a block or two if you need for extra support. And a TheraBand that is, I would say, light to medium, okay? So the last few weeks, well, we always focus on stability, mobility, and as a bonus, I'll give you guys a little bit of myofascial release. And I found that the more stable your body is, the more mobile, functional mobility, and the more hydrated your tissue is. You really don't have to do that much stretching because your body is oiled and it's functioning in the proper way. It's designed to carry us for as long as we are vertical. Oftentimes, there's always the fine line between overdoing and overstressing your tissue, and then underdoing. So there is that fine line where you're gonna feel like, oh, I don't want to go there, because your nerve system is already wired that way. So I will encourage you, there are some things that you absolutely know doesn't work for your anatomy, you back off. But because you have a little pinchy or a little discomfort, it doesn't mean you back off. Sometimes that's the gate for your freedom to move the next way. So hesitate for a little bit, see how it goes, and then a little mobility, let it settle down, and then you go at it again. That means that you might have to regress, meaning that if the band is way too intense for you, maybe pretend you have a band. Just use your own body and allow that to adapt so you can progress in time. We've been working a lot in the last few weeks. I've been working a lot on those little bridges because from my own experience and from my students' feedback, it's really been an amazing investment. And the way that we've been articulating the spine really allows us to feel what those glutes supposed to feel, okay? So let's get started. Before we go on the floor, just a very quick hydration and mobility of the thoracic spine. So come into all fours. If you need any padding for your knees, make sure that you have that. Bring your knees slightly in front of your hips. And that's another tip that typically, if we say knees under the hips, which is not bad. But if we're one of those that we have a very unstable pelvis, this is going to happen. Your front rib is going to collapse. You're going to have an exaggerated arch in your low back, and now you're out of neutral. If you bring your knees in front of your hips a little, you have more stability in your hips. Now, take your right arm into a cactus, gaze forward, and I inhale, open, and exhale, bring your elbow towards your left wrist as if you're pushing water. And then lift it up like you're resisting water up. Inhale, exhale, push the water in. Core is active. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. And 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, push it in. Inhale, push the water out with resistance. Exhale, push it in. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Slowly release it. Shoulder rolls. Good. Keep your elbows straight the whole time. And now just bring your chest towards the floor. Drag the heels of your hands towards your hips. So you're doing a little cow, but don't lift your head. Just stay here. Drop your chest. And now do the opposite. Lift your chest off the floor. And again, drop your chest down. Breathe. Shoulder blades come towards one another. Pull the heels of the hands towards your knees. And now round your spine. Good. Now take your left hand, cactus your arm, inhale. Exhale, bring it in towards your wrist. Notice each side is so different. Inhale, open, push the water. Exhale, press it in. Inhale, push. Exhale, in. One more. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly release. Take your palms, face your palms towards your knees. And now inhale, open your heart, and exhale, round your spine and draw your hips back. Give those wrists a little massage. Draw the shoulders now. Notice, can you fill up this balloon in your spine? Like you're rounding your spine, but breathe. Don't exaggerate. But can you push your spine to the edges of your skin? And now breathe to the back ribs. As if you're opening your spine like a zipper, and then come forward. Inhale. Exhale, push back. Lift the heels of your hands gradually, slowly, and lift all the way to your fingertips, a few shoulder rolls. Turn your nose, the right ear to your right shoulder. You might get an adjustment, and then gently go to the left and to the right and to the left. Okay, one more. Please be cautious with your knees. I'm going to show you options. More challenging is if your knees are together and you're sitting on your heels. For many of us, this is really hard to do. Okay, so now Diane, you see how your front ribs are poking forward. How do you fix that? Take your hand behind your head and one hand in front of your low ribs. Maybe you have to open your knees a little wider. Okay, because now you think you're sitting good, but then if your front ribs are poking forward, you're doing an anterior tilt. Okay, so now do the opposite. Press your head to your hand. Your head, not your hands to your head, but your head to your hands. Front lower ribs are down. Yeah, and now you have an apple space between your chin and your chest. So you might come forward and lift. And then you're going back, drag your hand, just watch. And then maybe you lift your knees any amount. Some of you will have to open your knees a little wider. So you might start like child's pose. And then just shift forward. And then shift back and lift your knee or one knee at a time. Hands on the floor. Okay, just to get a stretch one at a time. It could be little. Yeah. Slowly come forward, inhale. That's your little reset. Exhale, draw your hips back. Take your hands with you, lift one knee or both. Shift back, Nancy, back. Walk your hips back, lift one knee or two. Core is active. It doesn't have to be far, not at the expense of your alignment. Inhale forward. Now visualize you stretching the tops of your feet as you're going back in your shins and your glutes. There's a lot going on here. Breathe. Also strengthening your knee joint here. And come back. Don't look at me. Everybody's body is different. Come up forward. Inhale. Exhale. Shift back. Maybe it's so intense you just stay like child's pose. Maybe you walk your hands back and lift one knee at a time. Core is engaged. Again, forward, up and down, up and down. So we want our knee joints to be happy. We want our ankles to be happy. Slowly shift your legs to the side and now come to your back. Yay. Take the ball under your cervical spine. Let's just hydrate that cervical spine a little. Lift and lengthen your tailbone. Draw the shoulders away from your ear. And now can you press the ball so you feel the pressure, and now roll side to side. Side to side. Now in your mind's eye, this hydration of your cervical spine is resetting your spine as well, because your cervical spine is a part of your spine. And now we're flushing down and aligning the spine and your pelvis here. Breathe. Good. Excellent. Now, keep your sacrum grounded on the floor, so you're not on your tailbone and you're not on your low back, right at the center. And now take your right leg and drop your right knee to the right. It's small without losing your left hip. So you do an external rotation, and now lift your right foot to the right, walk it far out to the right, and now drop your right knee to the midline. So there is this an internal rotation. Your eyes are in your right hip joint. Lift your knee like you have a band, bring your right foot in, and then drop your right knee out. Now notice how the tendency is to go to your tailbone. Do you see that? Press your sacrum. This is rewiring the nerve system. Because we think we're doing good work, but then you're on your tailbone, you're throwing your pelvis off. Now pull and lift it up, open your knee to the right, drop your knee to the in. Stay on your sacrum. Breathe. Slowly come up, bring your right leg back to neutral. Inhale. Take your right hand on your belly just to keep the hips grounded. And now open your left knee. Stay on your sacrum. Notice how you want to immediately go to the tailbone. Press that sacrum. Don't worry how low that leg goes. And now lift it up. Open your left leg to the left. And now internal rotation, drop your knee towards the right leg. But stay on the sacrum. Breathe. Your eyes inside of the left hip joint. Lift up, inhale. Bring your leg in and open to the left. And once you give the task to your sacrum to stay grounded, notice the second and third becomes more doable. And now lift it up, inhale. Open your leg out, drop your knee in. Breathe in there, stay on your sacrum again. We have to recheck. Slowly come up and bring the leg to neutral. Move the ball out of your way. And now take your block on the medium width between your knees. So now we're going to awaken the spine. This is one of those that I've reminded you to do. You can do this in bed. You can do it before and after. You can do it 3 times a week. 3 times a day even. I call it 10-10-10. So the first thing is just to articulate the pelvis. Lift your tailbone off the floor. Lift your sacrum off the floor. Lift only your low back. You're on your ribs. It's a very short bridge. Now lengthen your sit bones towards your calves. Lower your low back only and stay. Keep breathing. And in your brain, you're telling your brain, there's a difference between my low back and my pelvis. Now drop your sacrum and drop your tailbone. Once again, inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your sacrum, lift your low back. Breathe here. This is your 10. You're staying here for 10. You're only feeling this in your glutes. Maybe your hamstrings will, have sensations too, but nothing in your low back. If you feel your low back, lower your hips a little more. And now press your feet strongly. Shine a green light through your glutes. And now to distract you, lift your palms over your heart. Make fist with your hands and circle your wrists. Breathe here. Your hips are still off the floor. Go the other way. Breathe. Now visualize all of those fibers like you're sinking into a sponge that travels to your bones. That's how we're trying to adapt all of those tissues, all those muscles to be solid all the way through. And now open and close your fingers. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Press those feet strongly. Open and close, open and close. Okay, here we go. That's about 10 breaths. Take your hands to your thighs. Now we're going to lift 1 inch, feel those glutes, and lower 1 inch only. Inhale, lift, and lower. Shine that color, lift small. You dive into your bone, lower small. Lift and hold, lower. You'll do this often, you're not going to have any low back issues. And lower. Okay, 4 more, lift and hold it small. Lower small. Lift and hold. Lower. 2 more, lift and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Now keep your pelvis as it is. Just give a little squeeze to your block and then release it like you're squeezing a sponge. Squeeze in, release little. Squeeze in. Sometimes I like to take my hands in front of me. Kind of squeezing the block with my hands and releasing a little. Squeeze the block a little and release. And squeeze, maybe close your eyes. Feel those fibers working. And 4. Breathe. And 3. Breathe. And 2. And 1. Now listen. Lengthen your tailbone. Lower your low back only. Stay here for about 2 breaths. Feel the length in your low back. Now lower your sacrum and lower your tailbone. Yay! Move the block out of the way. Drop your knees right and left ever so gently, just small, to the SI joint. You're staying on your sacrum here. Breathe. All right. There comes core galore. So, pelvic floor in and up, your front lower ribs are engaged. You're on your sacrum. And now lift your right leg, like press your left leg so much that your right leg comes up, small motion. Very slowly lift it up. Ground your sacrum to the floor. Right leg comes up. Right leg. Push it in, spread your toes. And now ever so slowly lift your left leg. And your knees will be about hip width apart. Take your hands outside of your knees. Now press your hands and your knees towards each other. No one is winning. Keep breathing. Press your sacrum on the floor. You have an apple. Keep breathing here. Isometric movement here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly use your core, lower down and rest. Inhale. Exhale. With your next breath, press your right leg so much you can feel your glutes active, your front lower ribs are down. Lift your left leg slow. You're on your sacrum. Press that sacrum. It should be more grounded now. And now find your core. Lift your right leg slow. Take your hands outside of your knees. Your knees about hip width apart. Keep your head down. Inhale. Find your apple. And now resist your legs to your hands and your hands to your legs. Can you feel your core? Now the tendency is to tilt up towards your low back. Press your sacrum first, centered. 4. Breathe here. Nobody's winning. Push those legs. Push those hands. 2, 1. Slowly lower down and rest. Okay. This variation is going to be different. You're going to push the inner legs this time. Again, isometric. So, breathe in, press your right leg up, lift your left leg. Lift your right leg with control. Your sacrum is glued. Take your hands to the inside. Back of your palms facing the inner knee. Inhale. And I push both. Stay on your sacrum. Squeeze like you're trying to crush your hands, but no one is winning. Spread your toes. Breathe here for 4. Breathe 3. Breathe 2. And 1. Slowly release and lower. Take a moment. Shake it off. Okay. Last one. Press your right leg so much that your left leg comes up. You're on your sacrum. Feel your sacrum more alive, more grounded. Lift your right leg up. Take your palms between your legs. Shoulders down. Find your apple. Inhale. Press your sacrum. Exhale. Push. Push. Maybe your head comes up a little, but you're gazing up to the ceiling. Keep breathing here. I mean, I know you're feeling that core. Sacrum on the floor for 4. Breathe 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Oh my goodness. Come all the way up. Oh, did you feel that? Woo. This is powerhouse. I love this type of work. I feel like seriously, this is an investment to the body. Okay. Bend your left leg in. Bend your right leg out. I'm going to show you options. Shoulder away from your ear. When you're doing any type of exercise, as we have already done and I showed you, ideally, every part in your body is working together as a team. Okay, this is teamwork. When someone is slacking, someone else has to do the work, and over time that becomes injuries, okay? So when we do even arm balancing, your core, your shoulders, your glutes, everything is incorporated. So here's your option. You're on the side here. Push the floor, lift your chest. You see my serratus is up. Just watch for a moment. Option 1, just lift your glutes off the floor. Option 2, reach your right hand over your head and extend that left leg. Core is active, hollow your belly. I'm going to come back, drop my foot and drop my glutes, and then we're going to do like a little twisty here, okay? So I'll show you the option again. Forearm, I'm in a divine twist with my legs. Lift your arm, front lower ribs doing a crunch. I have an apple. My serratus is active. Option 1, lift your glutes. Option 2, reach your right arm overhead, extend your leg. Hollow your belly the second time. Drop your leg, drop your glutes gracefully, and then twist to the right. Now, always be mindful of your shoulder away from your ear. Here we go, 2 more. Inhale, hollow. Lift your arm, lift your glutes. Squeeze your inner thighs, push the floor. Extend your leg, extend your arm. Hollow your belly. 3, push your right leg away from your body, like to the wall. Bend your leg, come up, and a little twist. Come back center, inhale, drop your left forearm, lift your right arm. Inhale, draw the arms in. Lift, extend your leg and your arm, push that leg away from your body. Lift your ribs towards the crown of your head. Lengthen your tailbone. Lower down and rest. Good job. All right. Here we are. Change sides. Right leg in front, left leg behind you. You're on your right forearm. Now, push the floor to lift your chest up. Look at me. Here is lazy. Okay? Here is mindful. I'm pushing. My front ribs are in. I have an apple. Serratus active. Lift your left arm, inhale. Exhale, lift your hips. Maybe you stay here for the first one. I'm staying here just to show you. Lower down with grace, twist to the left. Lift your spine tall. Inhale, forearm. Exhale, lift, extend, hollow your belly. Push that left leg to the back wall. Lift your ribs up to the crown of your head. Lengthen your tailbone. Breathe into your spine. Bend your leg, gracefully come back up. Twist. Open, inhale. Forearm down. Lift, front ribs in. Lift and travel. Bring those rib cage up. Lengthen the leg. Glutes active. 2. 1. Slowly release. And twist. Very nice. Shoulder rolls. Take a little rest. All right. So now I'm going to show you, oftentimes the QL muscles, those are the muscles between the low ribs and the hip. Those typically will get congested, but oftentimes they're also weak. Because something is tight, it doesn't mean that they're strong. Sometimes it means that they're trying to stabilize you when they're not supposed to. Okay, so now we're going to activate those little muscles. I'm going to show you. Bear with it. And again, everything we did from the bridge pose, the alignment, the apple, you know, you'll find your chin wants to go down. That's going to throw you off. Correct those little things, because then your work becomes so much more meaningful. It's not just, you know, you're going through the motions. So just watch first for a moment. I'm going to rest on my left arm. And this time my knees are aligned with my hips. Usually it will be here. This time it's here. Front lower ribs down, making a fist with my right hand. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to lift my head. I have my apple. And I'm reaching. For some of you, you might need to then bend the elbow to give yourself a little support here. Okay, now here comes the second part. You're going to lift your ankle like you're pulling the back. You'll feel those muscles. Look at them. Breathe. Slowly lower your head. If you need that support, lower your head and lower your legs. All right? So I'm on my left side. Align your knees. Flush them, give or take. Inhale. Find your apple. Lift your head. Make a shelf if you need to, but reach your right arm. You have a fist. Reach until you feel that engagement. Breathe, and then lift your leg. Breathe. Find your apple. Close your eyes, feel. Now, there's a lot of engagement here. The wall is pushing you. Bend the knee, bend the top leg. Bend the top leg. 90 degrees. 2, 1. Slowly lower down. So keep your top knee bent the whole time, okay? It's not straight. It's pulling with your ankles. So we go. Inhale. Make a fist. Find your apple. Lift your head. Make a pillow if you need to. Pull a little higher. Lift your leg with resistance. Visualize your top hand is pressing your leg energetically, just like we did earlier with the core. Lift and reach further. 2 and 1. Lower and rest. Inhale. Lift your head. Reach your arm. Exhale. Reach far. Pull your leg. Reach a little further. Breathe. Gaze forward. Lift your bottom ribs off the floor if you can. 2, 1. Slowly release and take a little rest. Okay, we'll stay on that side. Find your little Pilates ball and find your ankle band. The ankle band is going to go on your ankles. And you have a block on the tall setting under your feet. So you're resting your feet. You're resting on your arm. If you need a block, you can do so. Now you have your Pilates ball right in front of your chest. So both feet are on the block. Your knees are bent. You have an ankle band. Here we go. Right palm on top of your toe palm or your toe palm on top of the ball. Soft. Inhale. On the exhale, squeeze the ball and now lift your knees. Pull like you're doing a clam. Breathe here. Now lift your ankle and align it with your knee. 4. Press the bottom leg to the block. 2. 1. Lower your ankle. Lower your knee. Rest the ball. Inhale. Exhale. Press your ball. Lift your knee like you're pulling a band. Hold it here. Lift your ankle. Push. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your ankle. Drop your knee. Relax the ball. Inhale. Exhale, press your ball. Pull your knees apart like you have another band there. Pull, pull, pull. Now with that resistance, lift your ankles. Stay here for 10, 9, 8. Find your apple. Breathe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses, little. Up and up. Slow. Up and up. And 4. 3. Breathe. 2. Remember, out of your comfort zone. And 1. Hold. Release. Chickadoo. What happened there? Ah, that was a lot. Let's relax the neck a little bit. Just take a block or your ball again under your cervical spine before we go to the other side. Ooh, side to side, side to side, side to side. So why I said this is an investment, because you don't have to do 400 repetitions and 400 exercises to really invest. This is slow, long-term investment. Don't be fooled by the six packs and all of those beautiful bodies, because sometimes they might be strong in a different way. I'm not poo-pooing anyone. There's a benefit in every form of exercise, weight training, and that's why we change it up. But through this series, we're focusing more on stability. So we kind of like have to do it enough times where the nerve system is already adapting to those layers of the tissue. All right, come back center. We're going to the other side. You could leave your band. You can leave your band there. We're resting on the right arm. We're going to do those QLs. Now this time align your knees with your hips, give or take. Make a fist with your top hand. Inhale, lift your head, find your apple. Maybe you make a shelf and you lift your ribs a little. Reach, exhale, reach with your left arm. Reach, 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 up, up, up towards your feet. Now pull the band and breathe. Lift a little higher for 4. Breathe. 3. Glutes active, core, everything is working here. Slowly come back and rest. Flush it out. You're brave enough to go to all those little areas. Sometimes they might feel a little stiff, but you're looking at them. It might feel a little nervy. Look at it, breathe through it. Inhale, lift your head, find your apple. Maybe a shelf, make a fist and reach up, 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 gaze forward. Breathe a little more, push that leg. Ho, 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 ho. Breathe and reach. 4, 3, 2, shine a light on those QL muscles. Lower and rest. One more. Inhale. Find your apple, lift your head, gaze forward. Reach your left arm on the exhale. Reach with your fist. Reach, reach, reach until you can't go any further. Now lift your leg. Oh, can you lift a little more? 4, 3, lift a little higher for 2. Can you smile and rest? Ay, ay, ay. All right. Find your block on the toe setting. Find your Pilates ball. Both feet on the top of your block. You can rest on your arm, or if you need another block, feel free to do so. Top hand on the ball. Lift your chin, inhale. Exhale, press, compress that ball, compress the ball. Draw the shoulders away. Now pull your knees like you have another band there. Pull, 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 pull. Glutes active. Hollow your belly, lift your ankle. Lengthen your tailbone. 4. How is your chin doing? 3. How is your arm doing? Push it down. 2. Find the edge of that imaginary ceiling and then lower your ankle and lower your knee. Good. Inhale. Shoulders back and down, lengthen your tailbone. Exhale, press the ball, lift your knee, pull the knee, pull the knee. You're doing a little clamp here. Hold until you can't go any further. Now from there, pull the ankle. Find the edge of that ceiling, lengthen your tailbone, lift your chin. 4, 3, how hard can you press that ball? 2, 1, lower your ankle, lower your knee. Inhale, shoulders back and down. Exhale, press the ball. Pull your knees, pull, 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 feet still together. Breathe, lift. Keep breathing here. Hold it for 10. 9, shoulders away from your ears, breathe. Hug those muscles, you're driving all the way to the bone. 5, 4, 3, lengthen your tailbone. 2, 1, little pulses go. 4, 5, lower, small. 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. 1, and hold. Lower down and rest. Woo! Take the ball behind your neck once again. Massage it, breathe and rest. Drop your knees right and left. Massage your SI joint. Breathe and stay on the center of your sacrum. All right. Slowly move the band out of your legs, come up to a seat. And I'm gonna show you options, okay? Okay, so you're gonna take your band You're gonna go into this little quadruped. Give yourself enough band, for your arms, you have to adjust it. And then the second part is gonna be under your left knee. If you need a little padding for your knee, make sure you have that. So it's under your left knee, and we're gonna grab it with the left hand. Now you could roll the band over your left hand, all right? And like I said, you may have to adjust it. And now look under your belly. Make sure that your knee is in front of your hip, like we did before. And now extend your right leg out. Your pelvis is in neutral here. Don't go, no. Keep your right leg down, Nancy. Yes, we're not lifting that leg. Now, notice here is my collapsed chest. And I'm gonna lift and lengthen my tailbone, draw the shoulders back, gaze forward. The right leg is engaged, glutes are engaged, and now just lift your left arm up. Keep breathing. 4, 3, draw the shoulders away from your ears. 2, 1, drop your left hand down, lift your right leg, hollow your belly, little. 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick your right leg to the right. Don't move your pelvis. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right leg back to the floor. Inhale, hollow your belly. Exhale, gaze forward, pull your left hand. Core active, lengthen your tailbone. 3, 2, 1. Drop your left hand, lift your right leg, fire up those glutes. 4, draw the shoulders back. 2, chest forward. 1, kick it to the right, abduction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come center. Drop your right knee, sit on your toes. Come back. So better to do less than starting to get tired and compensate. Stay where you are. You're still, or if you need a block under your hips, go ahead and do so. Okay, you're still with your left hand, you're still with the knee. Lengthen your tailbone, take your right hand behind your base or back of your scalp. Elbow in, breathe, and I lift up, flexion of the shoulder, and lower. Lift and hold, lower. Lift and hold, find your apple, what's working, front lower ribs in, and lower. Lift and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 2, 1. Lower. Good job. Bring your hands, tap your feet on the floor. Tap, 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 tap. Good. And change your legs. Okay. Knee and in front of your hip. Lengthen your left leg. Tuck your toes under. Find your core active. Engage your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, lift your right arm. Draw the arms in. Hollow your belly. Gaze forward, no down. Lower down. Inhale. Lift your left leg up. Hollow your belly. Kick it to the left. Don't move your pelvis. It's just abduction. 2, 1. Come back in. Inhale. Lengthen your tailbone. Lift your arm. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hand. Inhale. Push the floor. Lift your left leg. Glutes are active. Gaze forward. Kick it to the left. Keep your pelvis steady. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. Lower, last one. Inhale. Lift your chest. Move your arm up. 4, 3, 2. Lengthen your tailbone. Lower down. Lift your left leg. Push the floor. 2, 1, abduction, kick it to the left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in, tuck your toes under, come back and sit. Shoulder rolls a little. Okay, here we are. Left hand behind your head, shoulders back, inhale. Exhale, lift. Draw the arm in. Front lower ribs down. 2, 1, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Ooh. Yes, honor your weaknesses. Honor them. 4, 3, front lower ribs. Yeah, if you feel you need it more in your front ribs instead of your head, do so. Lower down. Inhale. Exhale, lift and hold. Plug the arm in. Here we go. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, pain, hold, hold. 8, 7, hug those muscles. Lengthen your tailbone. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we have one quick drill. I'm going to show you options. If you feel you're going to compensate your low back by sitting here, like so, and your knees can be bent, like me, the other option would be to lay on your back on your sacrum, and you're going to do the same thing here. All right? So it's going to be biceps, and then we're going to open sideways here, like a little rotation. So you decide if you're going to be on your back, you can. Otherwise, you can bend your knees. You have all of that engagement because we already created this map, okay? You can make a little wrist, not wrist, but a little ring in your hands if you wish. Shoulders back and down. Now, if your band is too light, you can make it shorter, but you can also resist your legs a little. See my feet like a little. Lift your chest, shoulders back and down, inhale. And now bring the elbows in, breathe. And release. Not all the way. And push and come up, breathe. Your mid-back is strong. Lower. Lift and hold, breathe. And lower. Lift and hold, breathe, holding. Core is in, notice everything is working. Yeah, the only thing I don't see is working is your smile. And in, okay. 2 more. Lift and hold. Lengthen your tailbone. Breathe. And lower. Lift and hold. Hold it here. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And go. Okay. Cross your band. Cross your band. And now maybe you need a little more band here. And if that's too hard, just put one arm at a time, especially if you have a short band. Okay, one arm at a time. But notice how my ribs want to sway. Keep your chest forward as best as you can. Here we are. Open. Release with resistance. Open. Notice which side needs more attention. Don't run away from it. Hug the muscles, plug the arm in, and release. And left. And bring it in. Lift your wrist a little higher, Cindy. Diane. Breathe, shoulder height. And in. One more, lift. Bring it in. And right. Bring it in. Now, turn your palms up. okay? Fingers are facing the ceiling, okay? And now you're gonna push back. Maybe you have to make it a little shorter, okay? Like you have a little platter in your hand, okay? Or if you have to grab all of it, that's okay too. And then push it back. Oh, now the ribs wanna pop out. Keep them quiet and in. Now push the right only, gaze to the right. Bring it in and pull the left, gaze to the left. And in. And right, pull back. Lift your shoulder, the head of the humerus up and back. And in. And left, push back. Yes. And in, and now together, pulling back. Hollow your belly. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and let it go. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay, so armpit region is, if you have hip problems, we oftentimes we just focus on what around the hip. Big surprise, the armpit region has a whole bunch of connection. As we already saw, how the rib pop out, that's going to affect the pelvis and the other way around. So now we're going to give some attention to the armpit region. You have 2 options. Watch. If it's super, super intense for you, you're going to take a ball under your armpit. And you can just, rest with your bottom arm there and just walk forward and back. And just breathe. But the key, no matter what, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your object, whether it's the ball. Other option is going with your block right under your armpit. So I'm on the medium setting. Once you set that up, look what I'm doing. I'm shifting my hips so I can already feel a traction. I'm opening and lengthening those intercostal muscles, the muscles between your ribs. Before you get started, like pull your hips away from the block so much that you can feel that traction, okay? Now you're there, you can make a pillow with your bottom hand and then roll back and forward. Another way I found for me, if you have neck issues, maybe it won't work, I'm gonna take my opposite hand on my shoulder and make a pillow with it. And then just roll forward and back. So you have all the options. You want to feel that your neck is supported one way or another. And then breathe. Oh, yeah. Put the pressure. You may just stay in one place. And now visualize you dragging, energetically, you dragging the block towards your hip. As you create more space, I'm going to shift my hips a little further from the block. Breathe. If you need to adjust your block a little bit, feel free to do so. So this region connects to your pectoralis, major and minor, your shoulder blade, your serratus, that's a muscle under your armpit, your muscles between your ribs, your intercostal, your lats. So this is, and your cervical spine. So it feeds 3 different nerve groups here. They just change names, but they change names, but it's the same chain between your arm, your shoulder region, the armpit, and the cervical spine. We also have adrenal glands. Breathe. Keep the pressure on the block or the ball. Once in a while, can you wiggle your hips a little bit, because that tissue is connected. Like you imagine you were like a little worm, worming your spine and your hips. Awesome. Slowly release, come up. Oh, ho, 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 ho. And now take your little Pilates ball right around, right above your hip and below your ribs. So right around that upper glute medius, the outer glute, and your waistline region. Okay, you can rest on your arm. And now move your hips away, press and crush the ball. You can take your top hand over your head gently. And now can you shape your body over the ball? Visualize you pressing the ball to travel all the way to your spine. It's trying to compress and stress that tissue. And like I said, once in a while, you're going to stick your tushy in and out, very gently, very gently. Sometimes I like to also do like a little circle with my pelvis, like I'm skipping a rope with my pelvis. The key is to create pressure on the ball. Now, the important part is to learn how to unleash that connective tissue that might be pulling on a nerve. One of the ways is, like I said, when you feel a little something, wiggle the hips. That helps to release. Use your breath. The more you breathe, the more generous you are with your breath, the more space you're creating. You want to utilize your diaphragm to create space between the ribs. Now listen, from there, you're still on the bottom part. You're going to come up and put the ball right under the top of that leg, right crossing the crease of your thigh. All right. Now, if you needed a pillow or something for your head, go for it. But here's the other part. You're going to take your block on the medium setting. You're not there yet. Move your extended leg far away to the left. If you have your left leg far to the left, make a pillow here. Make a pillow with your hands. Focus on the ball first until you find sensation. You might have to roll up and down a couple of times. Your glutes are active. Your glutes are active. And you're going to also go towards the bony part of your pelvis. Okay, the ASIS, the anterior superior iliac spine. Breathe in there. You can roll side to side. Keep the pressure, please. Glutes, core, a little active here. So you're not compromising your low back. And then if this feels amazing, just play with that. You can tuck your left toes under or not. And then the other option is to take your opposite inner knee on the block. Okay? So maybe you're 7 inches. You don't want to be on those tendons, but right above the knee, on the inside. You can be here, and if you feel like, okay, I don't feel much, Or maybe you extend the leg slowly. Oh, ho, ho. Now remember, like you're floating, only your bones are pressing into the objects. And maybe you just wrote like alternate. One time you're more on focusing on the ball. Maybe sometimes you focus on the opposite leg. Now, every time you're breathing, you want to poke the ball with your breath. You want to poke the ball with your breath. Your opposite leg is bent. Your opposite leg is bent, yes. Lots of pressure on the ball and lots of pressure on the block. And sometimes it's the small movement. Maybe you move half an inch with the ball and you'll find what you need. So we also, with the ball, we're stretching the hip flexors. One of them is this iliopsoas, which is a major hip flexor here. Breathe, you can go up and down. You can just dome your body around the ball. How deep is your breath? How long are you holding your breath? That's very important. Can you notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders, in your chest, in your hips? Can you relax? Letting go of the muscles, but you're heavy, heavy with the bones. Okay, slowly come up, move the block. And as you can see, you could be here for an hour. In the old days, a couple of years ago, I had a class. It was all about mobility and myofascia. I just got too busy, so I couldn't do it. But that was also one of my favorite classes, and that's why I offer this as a bonus. I stay extra to give you this because I feel it's so important. Okay, guys. Side B, either a block or a ball under your armpit. Once you placed that, now make sure that you're right at the center of the block. So when you're shifting back, you have contact. Now, once you're there, shift your hips as far away from the block so you can feel that traction there. And as you create more space, you might move again. You can make a pillow with your bottom hand. You can make a pillow with your opposite arm over your shoulder. Whatever feels more comfortable. And breathe. You may just stay still, or you might move very slow. And don't be surprised if you feel like the urge to wiggle your feet and ankle, because this is all connected. Now keep in mind that from your armpit region, there is a connection all the way to your hip with your lats. And now if you breathe fully, you might feel also the shoulder blade region, even your chest. And sometimes it's nice just to be quiet and still and let your body guide you. Let it find where it needs to go. When it feels like it's not doing anything, then you activate a little. You start to move a little bit. So there's a whole method of that, but it's like, just enjoy the moment right now. Once in a while, stick your tushy in and out because you're trying to release that tissue. Maybe you do a little skipping rope with your hips, like little circles. And then remember, you're pulling energetically, you're pulling the block towards your hips. Can you trace the map of where you are, where you feel this? How generous is your breath? I want you to feel every time you're breathing, this Pilates ball is inside of your ribcage, expanding the space through the front, the sides, and the back. Okay, slowly come up. Oh, I always feel like I cheat myself. It's like you give a little candy to someone, to a kid, and then you say, no, I changed my mind. All right, so take the ball now, right around the hip, outer glute, waistline, lift your ribcage up, like again, traction. Lift, 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 lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Oh, rest on your arm or on a block. Shift your hips away from the ball. Maybe your top arm over your head, ever so gently. Breathe here. If that's too intense for your top hip, maybe put a block between your legs. That might help you a little bit. But now try to dome your body around the ball, like you're shaping your connective tissue. And the rule of thumb is wherever you feel the sensations, shine your light there and breathe into it. When I say breathe, not shallow breathing, but like you have this Pilates ball inside of your ribcage expanding. Now visualize the ball sinking all the way towards your spine. Stick your tushy in and out a little. Gentle. Wiggle your feet, your ankles. Okay, now we're gonna transfer into the front of the right leg or bottom leg, whatever the ball is. Cross your crease of your thigh to begin with. You have your block on the other side. Now walk that extended leg to the side further out. You can stay on your forearm for a moment and just roll over the ball like you're ironing out pizza dough with your ball. So lots of pressure, but be careful from the front ribs. You have to be super gentle. So you don't want to strain anything. You can go towards your pubic bone. You can go towards your belly button there, the navel. You can go down. Just explore. And then maybe to that pointy bone in your pelvis. Once you created something there, you can make a pillow with your hands or take your opposite inner knee over the block on the low or medium setting. Mine is on the medium. And I'm just gonna stay here and breathe. Shoulders away from your ears. Allow your extended leg to relax into the ball. Surrender. But use the force from your breath, like you're melting your muscles, and the pressure comes from your breath, and your bone is sinking down to the ball. Try to catch yourself trying to be too aggressive or too tense. The word is being too tense, too much effort. Let your body just be heavy, heavy on your objects, and use your breath to sink in. Sometimes you're doing like a little circle with your hips, like you're doing a hula hoop. Open your mouth for a moment. Let any steam evaporate, and then seal your lips gently. Slowly release the ball, the block. Release the ball. Now take the ball under your low back, just to even everything out here. You can also take a block on the low setting under your head. Just massage the back of your skull, the back of your skull, and connect that back of your skull all the way to your tailbone. You might even feel it. Keep the pressure on the block, but move slow. I like to grab the block with my fingertips. And I squeeze all that tension out of there. So this is a part of our superficial back line. It starts from the soles of your feet all the way to the space between your eyebrows. Roll over the ball now, little, side to side. And now connect your whole body. You worked every part in your body today. This is like a clinic. It's not just a regular clinic. This is a clinic to your well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Take this goodness off your mat. Take this goodness to other classes. Use your intelligence. You do not have to do everything a teacher offers. Good. Slowly lift your heels, move the ball, move the block. Rest on your back. Notice what you feel. Hopefully you feel more grounded. Notice the feet. Do they feel more alive and connected? Notice your sacrum. Hopefully it feels heavier, your shoulders. And I shine this beautiful green light through your body internally. And let it radiate through your outer body to everyone that comes around you. Roll over to the side, please, and come up to a seat. Ah. Visualize for a moment that your whole body, this beautiful little lotus flower growing within you, it's already there. Even when we go through the mud, we have that little flower waiting for us because the mud teaches us something. There's always something we can learn from the mud. Sometimes it reminds us and teaches us to stay humble and grounded, more passionate, compassionate, patient. Bring your hands to your heart center. We take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Namaste to all of you. Good job, everyone. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed it. If something didn't work for you, please let me know. I always like to know. Happy Tuesday. Bye-bye.